Maida Vale or?
It was a theatre
Oh, okay.
in Piccadilly. Very nice theatre.
Oh, okay. And it was a
And
rehearsal and a concert, but recorded as well.
yeah,
Just once.
once.
So you did both of these only once.
I did the Young Person's Guide, I think, twice, because the funny part is, a producer phoned me out and said, Duncan, I heard the Young Person's Guide to the Jazz Orchestra. He said, I consider it a very important part of the BBC. I mean, he really was very highly impressed with it. And he said, I'd like to do it again. And if you want to get a conductor in, you can do. And I used Bob Cornford. Did you know Bob?
No, I knew who he was. And
Great.
I heard him play piano a bit. I didn't hear any of his orchestral things.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Great.
Yeah, I heard he's amazing.
Yeah. So Bob conducted it. But I mean, so anyway, I got a call a few weeks later from another producer who said, Duncan, I believe the Carnival of the Animals went down very well. He said, would you like to do it again? I said, no. He said, why not? I said, well, I've got other things to do. He said, like, what for instance? I said, well, I want to do a jazz club pantomime of Scrooge, of Cinderella. I said that like the flute will be Cinderella, the trombone will be Baron Stonybroke, the two tenors will be the two ugly sisters. I said, it'll be a comical thing. He said, He said, how many people do you want? I said, well, 18. He said, Duncan, I'm sorry, I can't do that. Too many, it's too expensive. He said, but as a matter of fact, there's another producer who wants you to do something, so he'd like to do it. I'm sure he'd be interested in Cinderella. So I said, yeah, okay. So this other producer phoned up and he said, oh, you what is it you want to do? I said, I want to do Scrooge with narration. And I mean, I'm sure I'm learning sense nowadays, but in those days,
you thought
I didn't
big,
anything,
didn't you?
Yeah.
You thought big.
Yeah.
But you had the opportunities as well, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh well, that's the thing. The opportunity was there. But anyway, I said, well, thanks for asking me, but I want to do. I found the producer who wanted to do that. I was going to do Cinderella with, but he said it's too much money. I said, look, Cinderella should be a jazz club pantomime. I said, not something else. I said, how many people can I have? He said, well, maybe 15, 16, whatever. I said, okay. I said, well, I'll do that. He said, oh, great, okay, the date is whatever, and they gave me the date. And the other guy, I said, I'm doing Scrooge for you. He said, okay, fine, Duncan. Put the phone down. And I thought, I've got 3 weeks to write both suites. So, I mean, I must be a pretty fast writer.
Sounds like it. So when that happens, you don't play saxophone or you don't practice, you don't play anything?
No, that is a drag, actually.
It's like you just write down writing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sit up all night and things like that, you know.
You know, so you know that thing, you were talking about your childhood, and it was a nighttime family.
Oh yeah,
and
completely.
So you're used to that. Did you continue that through the rest of your life, just being a night person? Or?
More or less, yeah. More or less, yeah.
So you write, as you say, you write through the night.
Yeah. I mean, my granddaughter had a job. She works for Disney, and the Disney thing was in Hammersmith, and she asked if she could stay for a few nights rather than travelling back to Reading. So I said fine. And one morning she came down. She said, She was just off to work. She said, "Grandad, you're up early." I said, "I haven't been to bed yet." So she likes me. She thinks I'm mad. But I mean...
So there's... That's really great, sharing all those writing things, but there must be a whole... Because you had a long life, haven't you? So there's this whole periods of playing as well.
Yeah, I know.
Right, that we haven't talked about that too
I know.
much.
Well, I mean, in order to... I mean, people keep saying to me, "Duncan, you must write a book," you know, but I say I can't be bothered, you know.
Do you keep all your diaries?
I don't have any diaries.
Don't have any diaries?
No. No, I don't have any diaries, no. No. I'm really... I think musically I'm an instinctive animal. But I am an animal. There's no intellect there. It's just rushing in like a bull and like...
It sounds very intuitive, what you do.
Well, I must have something. Because, for instance, apart from Gil, another time I was up with David Raxon. I told you I knew David very well. And I was having dinner with... I was having dinner the night before I was leaving in a couple of days' time, dinner with Claire Fisher. You know Claire, the wonderful writer.
Yeah.
And so I was having dinner with Claire, and he said to me, "Duncan, I'll jog to the restaurant," which was in Studio City. He said, "and then you can drive me home," because he was fitness mad, you know. So he jogged to the restaurant, and sweating, came in, and we had a meal, and then I drove him back to his house, and we were in the drive, and he said to me, "So what are you doing at the moment?" I said, "Well, I've just written this thing called the Sherlock Holmes Suite with Spike Milligan." And Spike is another dimension, what I'll tell you about in a minute at this time. But I mean, he said, "Oh, that sounds interesting." I said, Yeah. I said, "I've got a tape at home, but I won't get around to sending it to you." So I went to switch on the engine, and it wouldn't work. And I kept trying, and it wouldn't work. So he said, "Oh, don't worry, I'll drive you home. I'll drive you back to the hotel." So he got his car, and we're driving back. And I passed this little jazz club at Burbank that I used to play. I used to play with Jack Sheldon there. And
you did?
Yeah.
Did you live in America?
I had a house in America, in Florida.
So were you going backwards and forwards all the time, or did you stay there for any length of time?
Well, I stayed once for 3 months. Okay. That was the longest time. And I went to New York. My usual way of working was I'd go over for maybe 6 weeks and go to New York, go to LA, fly back from LA to Sarasota, where we the place, and then have a couple of weeks there, you know, in the sunshine. So it was a delightful life. Yeah. So I mean, I've come from abject poverty to a type of prosperity in a way.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, having a place in Florida is like immigrating without tears, because you know you're going home again. And I put the trash.
Do you still have it?
No, when my wife died, I sold it. But I mean, you put the trash can out with your neighbour, and your neighbour is your neighbour for 3 months or whatever, and then you go back to Britain again, and your neighbours are back here. So it's great, you know. Oh, which is back in the old country again. It's a wonderful way to live.
Yeah.
But it's like getting back to the Derry boat days, you know, running on the boat without any money and things like that. So I mean my life has been Oh, I was telling you about Claire. So
yeah, your car didn't work, and then you went past this club.
past this
Played
light,
the
and I
jack
said,
drum.
Claire, let me out here. I said, I'm going in. I said, you come in for a drink? He said, no, I've got writing to do tomorrow. Because Claire was writing for Prince.
Oh yeah.
And because he said to me, I said, what are you doing now? And I said, I'm writing for Prince. I said, what is that, dog? I didn't know what Prince was. I said, Duncan, what have you been? And Gil said the same thing. Gil said, I'm writing for Sting. I said, you what? Sting? What is Sting?
So you don't really listen to any music?
No, I'm like a sort of an idiot, really. I'm unaware of things, and I've got a terrible
So you're
memory.
not, I couldn't test you on the history of jazz or.
No. Except the one thing that I've got is an what's it? Encyclopedic. Encyclopedic, that's the word.
Yeah.
Knowledge of songs. Like, for instance, the thing that goes with what the ability I have is that I know songs very well. I know the history of songs. I'm interested in that. I know the history. I know who wrote the song. I know what they had for breakfast. And I know the lyrics for most songs. Even lyrics that I don't know, somebody will sing something. I might be doing a little gig. Somebody sings the wrong word. And although I can't really maybe recall the gist of the lyric, but I know that word is wrong.
Mm.
So I have a certain ability in that direction.
Is that because did you grow up with a lot of those songs? Are they in your psyche from a young age, or?
I think it's difficult to say, actually. I think it's because I consider myself in a way a songwriter. I don't consider myself a saxophone player, although playing is great fun, isn't it? I mean, it was a great night we had that night, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was lovely.
I was drunk. It was great. Lovely. Lovely evening. It was a lovely wake.
Mm.
But I mean, it's like a sensibility about songs. And I know the words that I wouldn't use. I mean, I would be good in a class. I did a, for want of a better word, a master class recently in Ilkley, and it was fascinating because
On what?
on songwriting. And I often thought to myself, why don't they teach it in schools? Because teach it in universities, because every singer wants to write songs. There isn't any singer who doesn't want to write a song, but they aren't trained to write songs.
So would you?
And I thought, well, I should. I know a lot about songs. I'd be very good at it.
Well, that's what I was thinking. What would you? Because I teach at Trinity Laban Conservatory jazz course.
Yeah.
There's quite a few singers there.
Yeah.
Would you come in?
Yeah, sure.
So do you know Simon Purcell?
Yeah, I know Simon. He used to play in my band.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, well, he's the head of the jazz course there.
Oh, yeah.
So I can mention it to him.
Oh, yeah. Well, Simon will be happy. Well, I mean, it's something that I encourage singers to write. And various singers, I say, why do you write a song? They say, it's difficult. I say this to everybody who approaches me. They say, oh, Duncan, it must be great to write songs. You're very clever. But I've tried to write songs, but I can't write songs. I say, well, how long did you try? Did you try an hour, a day, a week, a month, a year, 10 years? I say, writing songs is hard. It's hard work. It's like pulling teeth without an anaesthetic.
So you spend a long time on writing one song, do you? Sometimes?
Well, I tend to try and write a song a day.
Okay.
If I can.
You're still doing it?
I still do that, yeah.
And
do
you start...
They aren't good songs, by the way. They aren't good songs, but I use it like an exercise. I churn something out that would be, it'd be okay because I know enough about the words to avoid and the sentiments to avoid, the purple prose, as it were. So
Do you write the words down first?
I do anything.
So they can happen at the same time?
I use that little tape recorder all the time. That is my guide because I would sit at the piano and I'd play things in maybe for half an hour or three-quarters of an hour, and then I'll leave it and I'll go back to it and I'll listen and I think, I'll write a song. That sounds pretty good, yeah. So I think, well, what am I going to use for a title? I use so-and-so. I don't edit myself very much. I just get things because they aren't songs for people to hear.
When you go to the piano,
yeah,
have you got something in your mind, or you improvising straight away, or if you think I need to play in this key today, or I need to modulate here? Do you have those conscious thoughts?
I think I tend to get a feeling of I must create. Like, for instance, somebody said, which comes first, the lyric or the melody? And I say, the first thing that comes is the inclination. There's sometimes I feel I've got to write a song. So I go to the piano, play the piano, and I might record it, and I write a song. And then I feel better, I feel as though the old man of the seas just left my shoulders, as it were, once I write a song. But apart from that, I better tell you about Claire, because this is quite interesting. Have you got enough room?
Yeah, still going on it.
So anyway,
should be fine, yeah.
Claire didn't come in. The following night I was having dinner with David Raxon. I'm not name dropping, but they were dear friends of mine. And they're both dead now.
Is it, what's his name? Raxin or Raskin?
Raxon. R-A-K-S-I-N. Raxon. He wrote...
Yeah, he wrote Laura, but I don't know what other...
He wrote a song called... I wrote a movie, a wonderful movie called The Bad and the Beautiful. Did you ever see it? Because it's a well-known song.
Who's in that?
Kirk Douglas and Lana Turner.
Okay, I don't think
and Dick Powell.
I've heard of it.
Vincent Minnelli did it's in black and white. It's regarded as one of the great songs. And as a matter of fact, David told me that Leonard Bernstein and Stephen Sondheim both agreed it was the best movie song ever written. So, and the other marvellous thing about David is he said Cole Porter was asked what song he would have loved to have written, and he said Laura. Now that must be a great feeling when you hear things like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, David was wonderful. David was like the first that Johnny came along afterwards, Johnny Mandel, and people like that, and they get into the jazz thing. But David had worked with Benny Goodman, as a matter of fact, been a saxophone player and clarinet player, and he must have been a very good player, and he approached it in a sort of jazz way, used jazz harmonies and things like that. Like Laura is a jazz song, isn't it? It's a great song. But anyway, to go back to Claire, so I had dinner with David, and David was driving me back, and we passed this little club, and they said, "Oh, David, stop here once again," because it was too early to go to bed, naturally. And I said, "Are you come in?" He said, "Yeah, I'll come in for a drink." "Yeah, that's great, yeah." So he parked the car, and somebody was pressing the horn of the car, hooting like mad. And I thought, what's that? And I looked. It was Claire Fisher's girlfriend. And Claire was in the car as well. Claire, she was driving. and she was sounding the horn. So she pulled in. She said, "Claire and I have been searching for you all night, all over LA." I said, "Why?" And she said, "Well, you better speak to Claire." And Claire, so I get in the car. I said, "What is it, Claire?" He said, because on the when the guy came to pick up the keys of my car, I saw the tape was of the Sherlock Holmes suite. So I gave it to the guy. I said, "Look, put this through the letter box of my friend." So Claire said, "You wrote a thing called Sherlock Holmes?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, there's a thing on it that you wrote called Scandal in Bohemia, which is a story about the time Holmes almost fell in love because the lady outwitted him." Do you know the story?
No.
It's a wonderful story, Scandal in Bohemia. And he said, it's driving me insane. He said, it's driving me mad. And I thought, well, what's he talking? He writes complicated things as well. But this thing that I'd written, which is a very romantic, bleak sort of thing, has got the blowers, some of the blowers, like this, the woodwind and trombones, but then the brass are in mutes, but the brass are in a different key. But it's strange, but it actually works. It's lovely.
What's the relationship of the keys?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No, I just had the piano going like that.
But
I mean, Claire was fascinated. So Claire said to me, "Listen, I'm coming in for a drink tonight. So we've been all over early, but I knew you'd be back here eventually." So he came in, and it was one of those horseshoe type things, you know. And Claire sat down. And he said, "Come on, sit down next to me, Duncan." And then there was Claire's girlfriend, and there was David at the end, you know. And the embarrassing thing was that David, when we were sitting in the car, David went up and said, he leaned in, he said, "Hello, Claire." And Claire said, "Oh, hi, David. Now that song of yours, Scandal Bohemia," and he just ignored. And David knows he knew he was good. He wasn't the way I am, because he was very, very competent, very, very brilliant guy. So I mean, Claire, in his mad way, was on about this song.
Yeah, well, but he's not necessarily dismissive of him. He was just interested. He was obsessed with your piece in that moment, wasn't he?
But he was saying, he said, "I listened to it, I think, it's wrong. It's wrong." It's like, I go back to listen to the thing. God damn it, isn't wrong, it's right. He said, "It's driving me mad." And David was sitting at the end, and he kept talking about the song, and I thought, this is the guy who wrote Laura, and he's being ignored, you know. So that's what I mean. So I'm not being self-effacing. I'm just being honest with myself. I must have something.
Yeah, well, it's interesting the way you're describing it, because you are describing a lot of compliments, aren't you? You've told me a lot of stories about people appreciating.
Oh yeah, apart from being psyched out every band in Greenock.
Well, that was in your early days, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And now we're talking more about your composition, your arranging, and your songwriting.
Yeah. So I really, in many ways, there are great saxophone players, great composers, great lyricists, great everything. But I seem to have delved into it.
Yeah, you're doing a lot, aren't you?
And yeah, and
that's great.
I don't know why.
Can you recommend anything that's available for me? You know, for instance, your songs, recordings, and any of these, and your arranging.
Yeah.
Because some of these things are not available, are they? As you said.
No.
So what would you suggest that things you're proud of that you really like?
Well, I think the Young Person's Guide is lovely. I think maybe you should hear Scandal in Bohemia, because when I did the arrangement, the composition, it really is dissonant. I mean, it's like as though a madman had written it. And I said to Duncan, because we did a rehearsal at the Bull's Head before the concert, and it was all pretty good players, pretty good, but they weren't. I mean, on the thing it was Nigel Hitchcock, etc., etc. It was Derek Watkins, etc., etc.
Well, they can
Mark
play
Nightingale,
anything. They can play anything, can't they?
etc., etc. And I said, Duncan, when the guys had left the room, you know, I said, Duncan, I think I've gone too far this time. He said, no. I said, wait till tomorrow. Wait till the other guys play it.
Well, you talking to your son, you mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, and my life's incredible because Speake was a dear friend of mine. It was even funny.
Sorry, who are you talking about now?
Speake Milligan.
Speake Milligan.
Yeah. It was funny how I met Speake because I was booked by, strange enough, I might as well name drop, George Martin, to do this thing of Girl from Ipanema. Because I did two or three CDs which sold hundreds of thousands. Have you ever heard them? There's one called The Best of the Bossa Novas and Summer Sambas. And they're really nice because...
You're playing on them?
Yeah. Because I was booked to play on them, book the band, conduct, for want of a better word, do the arrangements for £250 the lot, you know, and no royalties. So anyway, yeah.
No royalties?
No royalties, no. But I spoke to Roger Webb, and who'd written a lot of things for Music for Pleasure. It was for Music for Pleasure.
Okay, yeah.
And Roger said, "Oh, they don't do royalties. Music
They
for
never
Pleasure."
did?
No.
Wow.
So anyway, we did this record, and this record, it was either 7 in Billboard for 13 weeks or 13 in Billboard for 7 weeks. I don't know. I don't know these things.
When
it was things like me and the Rolling Stones and things like that.
It's in the 60s then, or 70s?
This was 70s.
Okay, and it was a bossa nova.
Bossa Nova. Actually, Stan Getz said, "Thanks to my European counterpart," because these records, I thought, I'd better do a poor man Stan Getz.
So it was a pastiche of that, was it? Or?
Well, I mean, it was sincere what I played, and it was very nice, very, very nice playing. I don't think I can play that now, like that now, but I mean, I played really nicely on the CDs, and anyway, I was telling you about Speake, Speake Milligan. So Speake, they wanted to do this bossa nova thing, and Speake sang it. A girl from Ipanema, but when it came to da 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 da, they all go, and he went a raspberry, typical Speake Milligan. Anyway, I played, and Speake came running out of the. We were in separate cubicles in EMI, Abbey Road. Separate cubicles. Speake said, "I know you. You're Duncan Lamont, aren't you?" I said, "Yeah, how do you know?" He said, "I know that sound. That sound. I know that sound." I said, "Why do you hear me play before?" He said, "Because Alan Clare." Did you know of Alan? Because you're so young.
No, I knew who he was.
You're just a callow youth, aren't you?
No, I'm not very young.
But he said, "Yeah, Alan used to do things." Well, we used to just mess about with a tape recorder, and sometimes I played at various clubs where Alan played. So he said, "I know that sound. You're Duncan, aren't you?" So Speake became a really dear friend of mine, and this guy phoned me up. Usually, this guy phoned me. I did the London Festival for Peter Boisel with my big band, and I did a thing on Rhapsody in Blue. and I think it might have been an entire evening Gershwin. I can't remember. I didn't Rhapsody in Blue anyway. And I had all the trumpets playing. You know that gliss that goes. I had all the trumpets playing that right up to top G. 5 trumpets, you know. So it sounded impressive. And anyway, was I talking about Speake?
Yeah, you're talking.
Oh yeah, the guy said to me, Duncan, I've got an idea. He took me out for lunch. It was something connected with the book people. And he said, I've got an idea. He said, I'd like you to write a suite on Sherlock Holmes, the Sherlock Holmes suite. And I'll use Spike Milligan and Harry Seacombe. He said, would you like to? I said, you know, you're the first guy ever who's come up with an idea. I said, I always come up with ideas. You know, that like the young person's, you know, whatever, you know, it's always I would suggest to somebody, I would like to do this, and they would say, yeah, go ahead, do it. It was wonderful halcyon days, those wonderful days. And because they didn't pay for the arrangements, but they paid for all the copying.
They didn't pay for the
No, I never.
composition?
Unless somebody approached me like for the BBC orchestra, they'd say, do an arrangement of Skylark for the A orchestra, the symphony, and they get paid very well, you know.
Did you do your copying?
No,
You didn't
no.
ever do the copying.
They
So
have a battery of copyists up there.
okay, so for instance, the young person's guide, did you get commissioned to compose that music?
No, I didn't get.
That was just your idea.
It was just my idea.
And did you get
Just
paid
a
to write the
broadcast.
music?
Pun?
Did you get paid to write the music?
No,
No.
no.
So what do you,
Things like the Carnival of the Animals, the various suites that I've done, Cinderella, Scrooge, loads of other ones. I never got a cent from the BBC for payment for composing. But I didn't mind that.
so you get a little bit of royalties. You get royalties.
Got royalties, yeah.
And then the copyists get paid.
Oh yeah.
So you're not getting paid for
Not for composition.
any of the compositions,
No.
but you wanted to do them.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So really, we've just touched this. We've skimmed the surface. Believe me.
I know.
I'll bore you again sometime if you want.
Well, yeah, maybe we should do it another time as well. I mean, I've got lots of stuff here. This is great, and I appreciate you.
Well, you've got more than you ever need.
Yeah, maybe we don't need to get together again.
Yeah.
Depends what you want to talk about, whether there's some other things that we haven't touched on. We've not really touched on the playing, apart from the early days, you know, in terms of
No. Well, that's true.
your, you know, influences, but you're kind of saying, apart from early on, you didn't listen to anyone.
No, I didn't. No.
No?
Apart from.
So where do you get a sound from? It's like an intuitive thing, or did you like saxophone players? And did you try and copy saxophone players, the sound?
Not particularly. No. I mean, I think it must be just it's probably being a songwriter, writing songs, I think in a vocalized way. I presume that's the reason why I sound the way I do. Because I really, thinking about it now, I think I play more like a singer than an instrumentalist. I really do. I think probably playing ballads, I probably play those better than up-tempo things, you know.
Has it always been like that, you think, or do you mean?
It's always been like that.
So is there a recording that I could hear of you playing that you recommend, that's around?
Yeah, I'll play one track of an album I did with Brian D.
Duo.
A duo. Yeah.
Which label did that come out on?
Mainstem.
Oh, I know.
Mainstem
Yeah.
label. But don't bother to buy one.
No?
I can give you a copy. But again, regarding that, I don't think I play pretty good. I don't think I play well.
Are you playing any of your songs or his standard songs?
No, it's standards Richard Rogers tunes.
Okay.
Well,
Well, yeah, if you've got a spare copy, I'd love it.
yeah, I'll give you a copy.
I'll just go to the blue again.
Sure.
Done.
Find love, man. Ten.
Have you got a spare one I could take today or not? Or
Yeah, but actually I don't like it very much.
okay, so you don't want to give it. What don't you like about it?
Well, I mean, I think the sound, the sound on Little Girl Blue sounds nice, but the sound on the rest I don't like the sound I get. But I'll play this. So I think that's
Thanks.
nice. I think that's nice.
You play quite freely on it. You're playing. Interesting.
Well, I was saying to Duncan, I was talking about something, and I said, you know, I like to play do re mi, but I don't want to be too close to do re mi. And time-wise, I don't want to be up here. In my book, I mentioned that I imagine like something growing out of the ground as a tree, and the tree is like that, and that's the sort of Western scale. And time-wise, it's like that. But there's branches coming out of the tree. there's various little things. So you can, if on a good day I can weave, so it's not too far out, it's not, oh, what the hell is he playing? But there's just enough for people to think, oh, what was that he played,
Mm.
So I mean, really, and I think that's what's his name? The guy who was playing tenor with us. What's his name?
Tim Whitehead.
Tim kept saying to me that night, I was so drunk, you're a rebel, you're a rebel. He kept saying that, you're a rebel.
And he meant that about your playing.
Yeah. I said, they can't touch you for it, Tim.
Yeah.
But I mean...
I think he's right.
So, I mean, there are times I've I've played and I think, that's nice. Other times, it doesn't, I don't really... It's so difficult to play, isn't it?
Mm. Have you ever played in a totally improvised situation?
I played with Evan Parker once.
Duo? It was a duo? Or?
No, it was drums, bass and drums. And the funny part is, I was working up in town and I passed this club and their sign up said Evan Parker playing someone in. And Evan said, have you got a saxophone? I said, yeah, but it's in the car. No, I said, I can't play that. He said, get your saxophone. Bullied into playing. So I got my saxophone. And I really had a good time. I really enjoyed it. Because I played my way and Evan played his way. So much so that a devotee of Evan's, he's always got little disciples hanging about recording things he does. Sent me this recording and he said that I think it's the best Evan's ever played. He said I've heard a lot of them. But I mean, the interesting thing was I let Ray Swinfield hear it, and Ray's a very discerning guy. And Ray said, there are times I don't know whether it's you or Evan playing. So, I mean, I don't know.
Hmm. So there's a recording.
But I have a restlessness, harmonic restlessness.
Right, yeah. So there's a recording of you and Evan?
It was a recording of both of us, yeah.
From that gig? Or?
From that gig, yeah.
Oh, someone recorded the gig, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is now. But it was interesting. I admire Evan.
Yeah, me too.
But
should we finish here?
Yeah, we'll finish here. Yeah.
Great. Keep you up all night. Although you probably will be up all night.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah. So that I really appreciate it. Thanks for spending
You're welcome,
time.
Martin.
And it was really informative. So I'll switch off for now.